So continuing with carbohydrates, we have discussed cyclic structure of carbohydrates. Then we discussed the mutant rotation in case of glucose. Now we consider another topic: difference between glucose and fructose. First of all, we deal with the molecular formula. Both have same molecular formula, C6H12O6. Then we have their nature. Glucose is dextrorotatory. Fructose is levorotatory. And it is aldose sugar. This is ketose sugar. It is reducing sugar. Reduces all three reagents. It is non-reducing. It reduces tolerance reagent. Saline solution and Benedict solution. It does not reduce them. Then we have sixth property on a treatment with ethyl alcohol. It is almost insoluble in ethyl alcohol glucose. Almost insoluble in ethyl alcohol. It is soluble. This all happens due to hydrogen bonding. Then on treatment with concentrated nitric acid, it produces glucose, produces saccharic acid. Gives saccharic acid. It gives number of products like cholic acid, that is a 2-carbon acid having alcoholic group, as well as that of carboxylic group. It also gives trihydroxy butyric acid and tartaric acid. Number of products they are obtained from this. Then treatment with bromine water, it gives gluconic acid, while this will give you no reaction. Fructose gives no reaction with bromine water. Then action of calcium hydroxide, it forms calcium glucosate, and fructose form calcium fructose with calcium hydroxide, produces glucose, calcium glucosate. It produces calcium fructosate. This is 9 point of difference with Molis reagent. Both give violet ring. Violet ring. This also gives violet ring in Molis reagent. So this is a point of similarity. Aldose sugar, it reduces failing solution tolerance reagent. With phenylhydrazine, they both give osazone. So these are the point of similarity. With Molis reagent, glucose and fructose both give violet color. and with phenyl hydrogen both form osazone, that is orange reddish compound. Then with resorcinol and HCl, glucose gives no coloration, and this will give red coloration. So that will be 11 point. Resorcinol plus HCl, no reaction with glucose, it will give red precipitate with resorcinol and a hydrochloric acid. Then freshly prepared ammonium molybdenate solution, when treated with glucose, it produces blue color, while that will produce bluish green color. Fructose will produce bluish green color on treatment with freshly prepared ammonium molybdenate solution. Then alpha naphthol alcoholic solution produces no coloration with glucose, but it gives purple color with the fructose solution. So this is a very important question. The point of differences and point of similarities. Similarities points are with Molis reagent, both of them they are producing violet ring, and with resorcinol they give the coloration, different coloration. And then we have the next freshly prepared ammonium molybdenate solution, it gives light blue color with glucose and bluish green color on heating. Then we have the next question, how one is converted into another, how we can convert glucose into fructose and vice versa. This is very important conversion. So we are now doing the interconversion, conversion of glucose into fructose and vice versa. So we will be doing first conversion, that is conversion of glucose into fructose. This is our glucose molecule. It is treated with phenyl hydrogen. Two molecules of it are taken. It will react first of all at first terminal, CHO group. Secondly, it will combine with this remaining system remain as such. This is called as osazone. This is treated with acidified water to remove phenyl hydrogen. Two molecules are eliminated. Then we get this product, CHOH, CHOH. So this is the product form on treatment hydrolysis. We get HOH group, they are changed into aldehyde and carbonyl group. Now to get this product, this is now reduced with hydrogen nickel, which will reduce CHO group into CH2OH group, and we get fructose. This is our fructose molecule obtained from glucose. This reduction can also be done with zinc or acetate, because this reagent can convert both the groups carbonyl as well as CHO group into the CHOH group. So we take here two hydrogen in the presence of zinc and STPC. We don't want to reduce CO group, that's why we are using this reagent. So this is our first conversion, converting glucose into the fructose. Now we come to the conversion of fructose into glucose. So this is our fructose. It is reduced with hydrogen and nickel here. This group will change into CH2OH group, CHOH. Then we have remaining structure as such. Now what we have to do in this case, we have to convert CH2OH group into CHO group. That is done by Pentone's reagent, Fe2 positive in the presence of hydrogen peroxide. This is Pentone's reagent. This will supply nascent oxygen, will remove water from air, and you will get glucose. Fructose to glucose. These are two important conversion questions. First is comparison of glucose and fructose, their properties. Then second is the conversion of glucose into fructose and fructose into glucose. Now we are doing with another important question. What are disaccharides and how many types of disaccharide they are important to us? Three disaccharides, they are very important to us. Disaccharides, as we know, the name indicates, these are the carbohydrates which on hydrolysis produce two units of monosaccharides. So the carbohydrates which on hydrolysis give 2 units of monosaccharides. So there are 3 important disaccharides. Number 1 is sucrose, number 2 is maltose, and number 3 is lactose. It is also called as milk sugar. So first of all we take sucrose. It is a disaccharide which is made up of glucose and fructose, and 2 units they are joined together by means of glycosidic linkage. So it is a polymer of alpha D glucopyranose and beta D fructopyranose, and this is a disaccharide. It is hydrolyzed with amylase to the glucose and fructose. Sucrase enzyme can do it also. Then we have the another disaccharide, that is maltose. It is formed by 2 units of the alpha D glucose. Then we have lactose. It is produced by alpha D glucose and alpha D galactose. So these are 3 disaccharides which we have to consider. Now we will be considering one by one. First of all we take sucrose, that is cane sugar, our table sugar. It is formed by condensation of alpha D glucopyranose whose carbon number 1 OH group of carbon number 1 of 1 unit combines with the carbon number 1 of the fructose, carbon number 2 of the beta D fructopyranose. Now we draw the structure of sucrose. This is having furan ring. So these are the units which are combining. Here we have CH2OH. This is fructose part. Upper part is the glucose part. HOH on this carbon, then we have OHH. Carbon number 2 is having H on the upper side, OH on the lower side. Then we have the groups of fructose sugar. They are OH, H. Then we have HOH. And in the last case we are having CH2OH. So this is the structure of sucrose. So what is sucrose? It is formed by condensation of alpha D glucopyranose C1 of alpha unit combines with the beta D fructopyranose C2 of beta unit. The units are joined together by glycosidic linkage formed between C1 of glucose and C2 of the fructose unit. So this is our structure of sucrose. Sucrose is a non-reducing sugar since both glucose as well as fructose are connected to each other through the reducing center, so it does not contain any aldehyde or ketonic group. That's why it cannot be reduced by tolerance reagent or Fehling solution. So it is called as non-reducing sugar. It is stable towards the alkalis, so it does not show beta-rotation also. Sucrose is our common table sugar and is obtained from sugar cane or sugar beets. It is actually found in all the photosynthetic plants which synthesize their food. It is colorless. It is white crystalline compound. It melts at 458 Kelvin. It is highly soluble in water, but it is slightly soluble in alcohol and insoluble in ether. It is dextrorotatory, does not show beta-rotation. It is non-reducing sugar. It does not reduce tolerance reagent, Fehling solution and Benedict solution. When heated to 473 Kelvin, it loses all water and forms a brown colored complex which is called as caramel. On strong heated, it changes into carbon black. Sucrose is used as a sweetening agent in our food items and confectionery item. It is used in the preparation of sucrose octaacetate, which is required to denature alcohol to make the paper transparent and make the anhydrous adhesives. When sucrose is hydrolyzed, then it is actually dextrorotatory sugar. When it is hydrolyzed with water, it produces mixture of glucose and fructose. The combined rotation of this mixture comes out to be 52.7, and therefore specific rotation of equimolar mixture of glucose and fructose, it will be seen in the water, that is minus 19.85. So this form of carbohydrate disaccharide, it is a disaccharide of glucose and fructose. The process of hydrolysis of sucrose, it is also called as inversion of sugar because the optical rotation changes from plus to minus during hydrolysis of this sugar. Now we come to second disaccharide, that is our maltose. This is a disaccharide which is also called as malt sugar. The general formula of sucrose and maltose, they are same, C12H22O11, C12H22O11. This is called as malt sugar. So malt sugar or maltose, it is obtained from starch by hydrolysis. We have starch. Starch is a polymer of glucose, C6H10O5N. It is treated with n number of water molecules in the presence of diastase to give you C12H22O11. and by 2 units of this will be obtained. This is called as maltose. It is formed by condensation of two molecules of alpha D glucopyranose, in which C1 unit of one glucose unit combines with C4 of another glucose unit. So its structure will be like this. This is one glucose unit. This is another glucose. Here glycosidic linkage is produced. This is fourth carbon of this glucose unit. 1, 2, 3. This is fourth carbon. This is first carbon, second, third, fourth, and fifth unit. So this is the structure of your maltose, which is having CH2OH group on the upper side, carbon number 5th, H on the lower side. These groups, they undergo condensation. Then we have HOH here, OHH here, HOH. Similarly here, HOH, here OH, H. This is glycosidic linkage. So it is a dimer of alpha D glucopyranose. It is dimer of glucose and beta D fructose and alpha D glucose. Then we have regarding maltose. These formulas are called as Haworth projection formulas. So now coming to maltose, it is formed, we have already explained, it is formed by condensation between C1 and C4 of the two units. Since a maltose is one of the units exist in the hemiacetal form, therefore it is a reducing sugar. It can reduce tolerance reagent, failing solution, it can give the formation of osazone. So this is regarding maltose. Then we come to third disaccharide, that is lactose, or it is called as milk sugar. As we know, lactose is a dimer of glucose, beta D glucose and beta D galactose, and the linkage between these two units, that is held by C1 unit of galactose and C4 unit of glucose. They are joined together to give you the disaccharide, which is called as lactose or lactose sugar. This is glucose unit. This is galactose unit. The linkage will be like this, because OH group of the galactose unit will be lying on the upper side, and that of glucose unit of fourth carbon will be lying on the lower side. So this is Z type of glycosidic linkage which is formed between them. Then completing their other groups, this is galactose unit, HOH, then we have OHH, then carbon number 4 here containing OH on the upper side, H on the lower side. Here we have CH2OH and H, and in the glucose unit we are having OH on the upper side, H on the lower side. Carbon number 2 having HOH, H on the upper side, OH on the lower side. Carbon number 3 has OH on the upper side, H on the lower side. So this is our glucose unit. This is CH2OH on the upper side always. This is H. So this is your two units, beta D glucose and beta D galactose. This is beta D galactose. This is beta D glucose. Joined together by glycosidic linkage. glycosidic linkage here. Now coming to lactose sugar. The lactose like malt sugar, maltose की तरह, it is also a reducing sugar in which glucose unit is in the reducing form, while galactose unit is in non-reducing form. It undergoes mutarotation and it reduces tolerance reagent, failing solution and Benedict solution. So this is regarding the disaccharides of the carbohydrate. Then we come to polysaccharides. As we know from the name polysaccharide, these are the carbohydrates which on hydrolysis produce many molecules of monosaccharide units. For example, we have two important disaccharides in our syllabus. They are starch and cellulose. They are both the polymers of alpha glucose. Starch is a polymer of alpha D glucopyranose, while cellulose is a polymer of beta D glucopyranose. So polysaccharides, they are the polymers of the monosaccharides. The most important polysaccharide is are starch and cellulose. They have general formula same, C6H10O5, n number of such units, C6H10O5, and this is the general formula which represent both. And starch, it is also called as amylum, is the most widely distributed in vegetable kingdom. Plants में पाया जाता है. It is found in the leaves, stems, fruits, roots, seeds. Concentrated form of starch is present in wheat, corn, barley, rice, potato, nuts. It is most important food resource of the carbohydrate. Then we have the starch on hydrolysis produces dextrin. First of all, when it is heated to 473 Kelvin to 573 Kelvin, starch first of all produces dextrin. Heated 453 to 457 Kelvin, we get dextrin. This is N, this is N1, this is dextrin. Now they have the similar formula, but value of N and N1, they are still not confirmed. N is believed to be greater than N1 here. So this is dextrin. First of all, we get dextrin. Dextrin on heating will change into maltose. Maltose will be hydrolyzed. Maltose when treated with maltase enzyme, it will produce 2 units of glucose. So this is regarding the polysaccharide starch, which is changing ultimately into glucose. And then we have starch is a non-reducing polysaccharide. It is neither reacting with tolerance reagent, failing solution or Benedict solution, because its OH group, they are present in the hemiacetal form. They are not free to combine with the phenyl hydrogen to give you oxygen also. Starch is made of two fractions. Number one, amylose fraction. Number two is amylopectin fraction. Amylose fraction is a linear fraction of alpha D glucose, while amylopectin, it has both linear as well as branch chain structure of alpha glucose units, where the linear chain of the glucose unit, they are held together in those chains. The C1 unit of one glucose combines with C4 unit of another glucose unit, while during branching, the C6 carbon of one branch combines with the C1 carbon of another branch. So in this manner, amylopectin fraction, which is a branch chain as well as linear fraction, it constitutes 80% of the starch, while amylose fraction, it constitutes 20% of the starch molecule. So we can say that starch is a polymer of alpha D glucopyranose, while amylo, it consists of two fractions. One is amylose fraction, which is a straight chain linear polymer of alpha D glucose, and second is amylopectin fraction, which has both linear as well as branch chain structures of alpha D glucose units. Now coming to the uses of starch. starch and its derivatives, they are used as a most important constituent of the food as rice, bread, potato, corn flour. It is used in the preparation of glucose, dextrin, and like substances, and it is used in the paper and textile industry. It is used in calico printing. It is used as a thickening agent for colors. Nitro starch is used as explosive. Starch acetate, a transparent gelatin-like mass. It is used mainly in making the sweets. So this is our first polymer, starch, and we have second polymer, that is cellulose. We have already seen the structure, molecular formula of both starch and cellulose, they are same. Starch is actually a polymer of beta D glucopyranose. Whose OH group on carbon number 1 will be lying on the upper side. So cellulose, it is found mainly in plant and is most abundant of all the carbohydrate. It is material which is used for formation of cell walls and other structural features of the plants. Wood is about 50% of your cellulose and 50% of lignin carbohydrate. Cotton, 90 to 95% cellulose is contained by cotton. And then we have the paper. They are largely made up of cellulose material, 50 to 60%. Pure cellulose is obtained successively treating cotton, wool, flax, or your paper with dilute alkalis or dilute HCl or dilute HF, which hydrolyzes the glycosidic linkages and produces cellulose in the form of amorphous powder. Cellulose is insoluble in water in most of the organic solvents. It decomposes on heating but does not melt. हीट करने पे डिकम्पोज हो जाता है, loses water but it does not melt at all. It dissolves in ammonical copper hydroxide solution and produces color there. Switzer reagent is called as ammonical copper hydroxide solution. Like starch, cellulose is also a non-reducing sugar, which means its reducing group, they are not free, so it does not reduce. Failing solution, Tollens reagent or Benedict solution. When it is treated with concentrated sulfuric acid in cold, it slowly passes into the solution. Cellulose को अगर concentrated sulfuric acid से treat किया जाएगा, slowly it passes into the solution, and this solution when diluted with water, a transparent substance, starch-like substance which is amyloid gets precipitated, and this amylose is used in the preparation of parchment paper membrane, which is used for osmotic experiment. When a cellulose is boiled with dilute H2SO4, it is completely hydrolyzed to D-glucose. Our body does not contain any enzyme to digest the cellulose, but the body of the animal, the grazing animal, they have the enzyme cellulase. That's why they can hydrolyze cellulose into glucose. We don't have such enzyme. That's why we are not able to digest cellulose. Cellulose is having a linear chains of beta D glucose units, where different glucose units, they are joined together by C1 and C4 linkage, and there are number of derivatives of cellulose which are used in the industry. For example, number 1 is celluloid. It is used in the preparation of photographic film on which the image of the objects they are taken. It is used in the preparation of gun cotton, which is used as an explosive. Cellulose acetate is used in the preparation of plastics for wrapping films and in the manufacture of nail polish as well as lacquers, varnishes. Methyl cellulose, it is used in cosmetics, plastics and fabric sizing. Ethyl cellulose, it is used for manufacture of plastic coats and plastic films. Cellulose is largely used in the preparation of cotton fabrics, canvas, gummy bags, bamboo, straw. In the cellulose nitrate is used in the preparation of explosives, gunpowder. It is also used in the medicine, paints, lacquers, and in the manufacture of toys, decorative articles. and photographic films are prepared from cellulose. Cellulose acetate is also used in the preparation of artificial silk. Then we have importance of carbohydrates. We know carbohydrates act as important biofuels in our body. They get oxidized in our body into carbon dioxide and water and release large amount of energy. When one molecule of glucose is oxidized in our body, it liberates around about 2868 kilojoule of energy, which is very good amount of energy, and by this energy we perform different bodily activities. Then carbohydrate, it is used in the medicines to prepare sweet syrups, cough syrup and other medicines to provide sweetness to those medicines. This cellulose and other carbohydrate they are used. Starch is a major reserve material of the plants and is stored in the seeds, which is used for making the number of articles in our industry. And in our body, in the body of animals and humans, reserve carbohydrate is glycogen, which is a polymer of alpha D glucose, and our body can store. It is a highly branched structure of glycogen, which is consists of number of glucose unit. It has around about 10 raised to power 5 glucose units, and it is stored in the liver. At the time of emergency, this glycogen is hydrolyzed, producing glucose units which get oxidized in the body and give energy to the body in the time of emergency. And so while the amylopectin chains, they contain round about 10 to 20 to 25 glucose units. So this is a reserve polysaccharides of plants, and glycogen consists of chains of 10 to 14 glucose units. Cellulose, we are not able to digest it since we don't contain enzyme cellulase. Grazing animal, they can digest it. They contain enzyme cellulase, and this cellulose also act as a constituent of the cell membrane. So this is all about carbohydrate. In the next lecture, we will be taking alpha amino acids, proteins, and globular and fibrous proteins, and we'll take DNA and RNA. Thank you very much.